Look at the front where it says Ames real big.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into the video. You know, on my Facebook group, WallyB26 and Friends, I had a few people that suggested that I do an unboxing video on this Kato N Scale starter set. For anyone who's into model railroading or is a rail fan in general, this starter set is a great opportunity to give you a start in a new hobby anyway. I'm sure almost any rail fan and even non-rail fanners have seen HO scale trains, which are about this large, and O scale trains, especially at Christmas time, which are like this large, or G scale, which is just as large. But anyway, for model railroaders, this is a great way to get into something that is less expensive and takes up less space. And I had been eyeballing one of these Kato starter sets for quite some time. And a couple of weeks ago, I attended the Greenberg Great Train and Toy Show out at the Monroeville Convention Center. I didn't do a video this time, as I had done 3 of them previously, or 4 actually. And I just wanted to go and enjoy it this time for myself. And a vendor that I have purchased from in the past had this set. It was the only one he had besides an Amtrak set, which is equally as cool. But I was looking for the freight package with a diesel locomotive on there, a GEVO as we call it. And this one here in particular comes with a CSX locomotive. It has everything you need in it, hence the name starter set. It has everything you need to get started into N scale railroading. You might see these boxes here. These are N scale cars here, and I'll talk about those here in just a minute. But in this box, you get the locomotive, you get 6 freight cars, you get all the track you need to have a 3x4 layout with a crossover for like a railroad crossing, street crossing, and you get the controllers. And this brand alone, Kato, is one of the best when it comes to N scales. Kato is a very reputable brand, nothing but good reviews. And from what I've seen from other rail fans and other model railroaders, this is just as best as you can get. So I wanted to do an unboxing to give you my personal opinion and review of it, as well as having it set up. Hopefully I can do it here on this table and give you an idea of what this thing looks like. And the great thing about this is you can add on to it. I believe this is just a DC set, but you can add a soundboard onto this if you don't have DCC, which a lot of DCC trains obviously do, sound, lights, that sort of work. But still, this is a great deal here. And you know, online and in hobby shops, these retail anywhere between $240 and $300. I got this for a deal at the train show for $200. The vendor that I had purchased from in the past gave me the repeat customer discount, I guess you could say, so thank you for that. But anyway, what are we waiting for? Let's open this up and check it out, and then I'll show you these little cars that I have here stacked up that I've bought extra to add on to this. So the train set comes all in this box. It's in this sleeve here, and it gives you all the info about this train set, what kind of engine you get, the picture of the one that's in the box, because as you can see, they have 5 different designs. I was really hoping I could get a Union Pacific one, but you can buy those online or at any hobby shop for roughly $120 to $250, depending on the one you want. For me, I'm happy with DC, so that's on the lower scale there for the price. DCC with sound and lights, that's when it gets a lot more expensive, and I'm not that worried about it. But everything is indicated on here, and then on the box it even shows you the pieces that are included in this set, the track pieces. And on the back, it gives you some info about the railroads and accessories you can buy to add on to it and how to put it together. And I imagine there will be a good instruction book inside. Not that you really need it. It's not rocket science to put a model railroad together. So if we slide this out of the sleeve here, move this out of the way, that's what it looks like in that box. Now this was already opened by the guy selling it to me because he wanted to ensure and show me everything that's in here. But I haven't messed with it, and other than him showing me the trains, I haven't opened this or touched it yet, so this is a first time for me. But anyway, when you do open it, there's this little container in here, this little box, which has the trains and the cars in it. As you can see right here, you have your 6-car mixed freight set, all different kinds of like grain hoppers, gondolas, a couple tank cars, blah blah blah. And then in this box here is the actual locomotive. And they make sure to package this very well, which I really appreciate. Once we get this off of here, you can see they have bubble wrap in there too. And that's what the locomotive looks like inside of the container. Very nice piece. For N scale, it's very detailed. I really like how well this looks, and I'm very excited to try it out. Now they do have a little protective cap on here so it doesn't get damaged in the box. But anyway, that's your locomotive. Very detailed. Has a little bit of weight to it for sure, but I really like this for a Gevo anyway. Very clean, cleaner than what you'll see on the high iron. So I've set aside the track pack, but I want to show you guys what's in this little box here. And here are the cars. They did well with the bubble wrap as well. But here are your cars, and aside from those, you get a bunch of booklets in here too. Let's see what we have in here. If I can get it out of the box, there we go. You have your N and HO gauge track catalog, and it shows you all the different options and what you can buy from Kato, which is very cool, to make your layout personal and complete. Very nice. And in this one here, Discover N Scale, I guess this is just a little starter guide here. Yeah, it shows you the contents of it, and it shows you the different types that they have. Now, besides the one that I got, this was the one I had mentioned, was the Amtrak one, which I thought was really cool as well, and I almost bought that one, but I really wanted to get this one with the mixed freight because I like making variety. And I'll show you the cars that I have here on the side in a moment here as well. But yeah, they have several different types of kits, so there's all your paperwork there anyway. And the starter guide in here. Now, I've had model railroads in the past, so I'm not too concerned about needing to read this, but if you're new to it, it's nice that they provide this in here. It's very nice. Everything looks like it's easy to read as well, so that's very good. And then we'll just go ahead and put this back in this box here. And what's nice is, if you want to put this back away, you can fit everything right into this box, put it in a closet, and you don't have to worry about it. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space like bigger railroads take. So anyway, let's check out the track pack. I love how everything is so neatly organized in here. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Everything is neatly organized in here. All of the tracks, you have little ones here. You have your railroad crossing one here. And I'm sure there's a little ramp for it and whatnot. I'm not sure what this is yet. I don't know. Oh, I see it. It has like a little measure on it, little ruler. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll check that out as we go along. We've got all kinds of great little pieces in here. Yeah, here's the ramps here for the railroad crossing. And then you got some wires to... Oh yeah, and they got quick connectors on it too, so you can just plug it in, I'm assuming, into the control box and into your layout. Yeah, here's the connector here, and then here's where your AC adapter goes in to plug it in. And it's very self-explanatory. Forward, reverse, off, and this here changes the speed on it. I already know that. So very cool. Very lightweight too. And then in here, I imagine, is just the AC adapter anyway. So yeah, that's what's in this box. Okay, now that I've shown you the contents, let's look at the tracks here. Here's a couple of straight pieces, for example. These are quick connect, they're easy to put together, and I like how they're raised on ballast here to make it look realistic. And when you put them together, you literally just snap them together as such, just like that. And then you have your tracks together, and to take them apart, you just literally pull them right apart, just like that, as I bump the camera. So anyway, what are we waiting for? Let's get this built, and I'll show you how it looks all together. Alright, so what I wanted to note while I'm putting this together too, here is your railroad crossing piece, 2 little shorter tracks and an intermediate track for if you don't want to use this, but you want to use these instead. These little pieces here, this one in particular is what has the connections in there for your power pack. You see like the little lip there on the side. I know it's hard to see on camera. And then underneath there is the little box where this wire here plugs directly into from the controller. And what I noticed from investigating further is this is actually a re-railer tool. It has a little roller on it though. But what it does is you set it on the tracks here, and you set your trains right on here, and it'll rail them right onto the tracks. That's if you want to do it the right way, anyway. And then this little piece here is the unitrack remover. The little connectors that are on the end of each piece here, this little thing, you put that inside of here, and it pulls it right off nice and easy without breaking it. So that makes it nice and convenient. Alright, so now I got the wire plugged in, and I'm not going to lie, getting this little plug in here was just a little bit difficult, for me anyway, but that's because I have big butterfingers anyway. But it's plugged in, it was a nice easy snap in, and I imagine it just pulls right out, and then that little lip there is where the wire goes. So now that I have that together, I'm going to finish assembling this thing, and I'm going to run the first train on it, and you get to see it right here. Alright, now I have the layout set up. I have my train already on here, and I will tell you, as someone who's inexperienced with N Scale, this track re-railing tool is very handy. See, I'm used to HO scale, which it's not very difficult to re-rail trains and cars onto the tracks, but with N Scale, you're talking about a much smaller size. Now that we have the train set up on here and everything is put together, let's give it a test spin and see how it works. Alright, we have our controller here. Off, reverse, and forward. To reset it, you push this button here. You want to turn it counterclockwise anyway to slow down the speed, and turn it clockwise to increase it. So we want to start off slow. I don't want it to go right off the tracks immediately. So let's go ahead and put it on forward and turn up the speed and see how it responds. Okay, so it's going backwards. Probably because it has one current. Still, that's pretty cool. Alright, now let's turn it off. Now let's put it on reverse, and let's see how it goes the other way. Oh, look at that, the locomotive lit up. I didn't know it did that. Now I have it on a slow speed. Let's go ahead and increase it a little bit. Pretty cool. Increase it a little bit more. I don't want to go too fast. Why don't we go up a little bit more? Pretty cool. I don't know how fast I want to take it, but let's see. Full speed. Wow. That actually handles a heck of a lot better than I anticipated. Alright, we'll slow it down now. We'll turn it off. Now, you've seen it with the 6 cars that the train came with. All those cars that I told you about earlier, well, let's get into it right now. Alright, as for these cars here, 4 of them I purchased at Greenberg's Great Train and Toy Show at the Monroeville Convention Center when I bought this layout here. The other 4 I bought at this wonderful little hobby shop right here in Millvale called Esther's Hobby Shop. He has the largest selection of N Scale trains and cars you will find anywhere. They were even telling me last weekend that people come from out of state to shop at their store. He's on a limited schedule, so they're only open on Saturdays. But he has others that work the store and keep it open for him. But if you ever get to go down there and see him, say hi. And obviously the ones I got from Esther's were new. The ones I got from the Greenberg Great Train and Toy Show were used. But I like them. I paid $5 to $10 a piece on these. These ones I paid a little bit more, obviously. But I really like the detail on them, and it really lets me customize my layout. And what's nice is with Esther's, you'll find just about any car for any railroad, active or fallen. And when you go to a train show like Greenberg's, you'll find all kinds of cars out there, whether they're current or obscure, extinct, whatever. The Rock is one in particular that I was looking for, but didn't find one yet, but I know I will here very shortly. I always like the way their cars looked with the big R on it and the circle. So, but anyway, what are we doing talking about it? Let me show you these cars, and then I'm going to test this layout with all 8 of these on here to see how one locomotive handles. Also, with this train set, I was reading that you can add another locomotive to it, even though it's just DC. You can add another to it, and they should operate just fine at about the same speed anyway. It's not too complex, it's pretty simple. So when we get another locomotive, which I'm guaranteeing you right now it's going to be an NS locomotive, and you'll see why with these cars here. Anyway, I can't wait to put that together and show you that. Not to mention with this, I'd like to get it built up and get additional track and really customize a nice layout for a permanent setup here. Maybe if not at this home here when we move. So anyway, let me show you these cars and show you how cool they are. Okay, let me start with the ones I got from the Greenberg Great Train and Toy Show. Then I'll go into the ones from Esther's Hobby. This one here in particular was from Wisconsin Central Lines. Really like this piece a lot. I see them periodically on the NS lines here in Pennsylvania. So I figured for $5 that was a great deal. Even though the prices on these are different, the guy hooked me up a great deal since I bought several of them. Plus, I think he just wanted to make a sale. Anyway, really like this one here, the Illinois Central. Love that this piece is weathered. It looks old, it looks beat up. I love it. And I'd like to get a few more that are weathered like this piece is. Really, really like that one a lot. Another piece I really liked a lot was this Northwestern covered hopper. It might not be weathered, but I really like the colors on it. I really like the detail. And once again, on the NS lines, I see this from time to time. So I really like that one and had to pick it up. And obviously with CSX being the locomotive on this train set, I had to pick up a CSX boxcar. Really like that one a lot. Like the detail on it, looks realistic. And those are the ones I got from Greenberg's Great Train and Toy Show. As for these ones here on the right, these are what I picked up from Esther's Hobby Shop. This one was an instant buy for me. The old Burlington Northern covered hopper, extremely weathered. It was done on purpose. I really, really love the detail on this. Love how realistic that looks. I paid a little bit more for it, but it was worth every penny to me. And I like that one a lot. Then I got these 2 NS box cars here. You see the doors are opened on one, but they open up on both. So that's really cool. And you know me being an NS fan, this was right up my alley. That's another reason why I got so many NS ones, and I plan to get an NS locomotive. Now this one I like because it had a loaded cargo in there with those boxes you see, and the door once again slides open and closed on both sides. Really like the detail on it. Simple, but I wanted it. This one here, I really liked a lot. This was the last one that Esther's Hobby Shop had in stock.
Don't know if they are getting any more or what, but this 40th anniversary for Norfolk Southern, since they combine Norfolk and the Southern and Norfolk and Western. Love the colors on it with the heritage schemes on it. It's the extra long, extra high box car. And once again, the doors open up on this one too. Really beautiful piece. Worth every penny, in my opinion. But now that I've shown you all of these, let's put them here on the layout and see how the CSX locomotive can handle pulling 8 additional cars to the 6 already on it. Okay, I have all the cars set up the way I'd like them. I put a lot of the box cars here in the middle. I put the gondolas towards the end, since they're the lightest, even though I did put the 40th anniversary unit on the very end. But I have it set up the way I want it, and let's see if the single locomotive can handle this many cars. I'm sure it can.
Alright everyone, well that is the Kato N Scale starter set. A really wonderful product. There's not much bad I have to say about this thing at all. If you're looking into getting into model railroading, this is a great product to start, especially for N Scale. Anyway, Kato is one of the best, and this was easy as it comes to building this whole thing, and it only took me about 30 minutes to do, especially on the first try. Now, since I've done it once, putting it together for future events will be a lot quicker. But anyway, I really like this a lot. I didn't even have to read the instructions on it. I mean, if you have to, no worries. That's okay. It was very easy to put together. Not a lot of bad things I have to say about it. Hardly anything at all. Lots of pros. The pros on it is the price. You get this whole starter set for anywhere between $200 and $300, depending on where you find it. The size is really great on it too. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. As you can see, everything fits right here in this box, unless you get extra cards like I do. And what I am planning on doing is getting like a small little, like a tackle box almost, or a tool box almost, like a little handheld one you can get at the dollar store, or even at a hardware store, and put them all in there, and then you can put them in a closet when you don't want to play with this thing. Unless, of course, you plan on making a permanent layout. Another pro for this thing is it's very easy to use. I really like it a lot. Assembly and disassembly took minutes. Now, like I said, when I put it together the first time, it took a little bit longer because this is the first time I was playing with it. Another pro is you can add whatever you want to it. You can add DC engines to it, DCC engines to it, and you can even get a soundboard for it, which plugs directly into the controller. And they also have another port on there, so if you want to have a siding or, you know, additional lines, you can run controls to those as well. Nothing really bad I can say. There is a couple of cons. One is they come with little air lines to put into the couplers to make it look more realistic. And if you have big butterfingers like me, it's a little bit difficult to get them to go into the couplers. Another con is just the size. Trying to jam those in there was a little bit difficult, but if you're not that worried about it, that's not that big of a deal. They're the little things that look like a little line or like a little string that come out of the couplers to make it look like an actual airline. Another con would be, because of how small it is and with my big hands, trying to plug the wire into the bottom of the track, that was a little bit difficult too. Other than that, I really don't have anything bad to say. So if you don't have big hands like me, you have nothing to worry about. And if you do, may I suggest you get needle nose pliers, and you should be fine. So definitely recommend this. This is a fantastic product. Kato, love it. I'm definitely a fan, and I'm definitely going to be buying a lot more products for this, including some more locomotives to put on here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am going to wrap it up now. Gee, this was a lot of fun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all very much for watching. On that note, take care, stay awesome, and on Kayla's behalf, have a real fanalicious day. And if you're into model railroading, go out and enjoy it the best you can. If you can't do it, do whatever makes you happy. But if you are, grab one of these. Can't go wrong. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.